Here in Algonquin's winter guide, we have the map to the backcountry ski loop. I started in the parking lot, and I headed north up the east side, and I camped just before Polly Lake. The following day, I continued around the loop, down the west side, all the way back to my car. This is an awesome loop, and I highly recommend it. Enjoy the video. There was a good mix of uphills and downhills on this trail. It made for some interesting travel. On steeper hills where the trail was packed down, I would remove my skis and hike up in my boots for more traction. On steeper downhills, I would let my toboggan go down first, and then I would ski down to get it. I encountered all types of conditions on this trail. Sections like this were too narrow for my sled. It was starting to get dark and I still had to make camp. Winter camping regulations for Algonquin forced you to be at least 30 meters from the trail. So I snowshoed into the forest to find a good campsite. I liked the look of this spot, so I cleared the one widowmaker and 2 dead trees. I dug down to the ground to create a fire pit. The snow was over 4 feet deep, so it took me a while to shovel. I decided to rig up my tarp as a lean-to style shelter. I girth hitched the end of my rope to one tree. And to finish off the ridge line, I used a trucker's hitch to create tension. I secured loops of paracord to the ridgeline with press-x, and I used sticks as toggles to hold up one side of the tarp. Then I staked down the bottom two corners of the tarp to create tension. I also added a bit of snow to the back of the tarp for support. At this campsite, I didn't have water access, so I had to melt snow for water, which took a long time. You have to refill your pot with snow a few times to get enough water. I kept things simple on this trip. For dinner I had freeze-dried Hawaiian rice with chicken. Just add some boiling water and you're good to go. But don't forget to stir and wait 15 to 20 minutes. After a long day, I was ready to pack it in for the night. The hardest thing about winter camping is getting out of your warm sleeping bag in the morning. I woke up to a mild, snowy morning. The first thing to do is pack up my sleeping bag and mat. In the winter I like to use two mats, a full mat on the bottom with my thermarest on top. I split some wood to help get the fire going. With the fire burning well, it was time to melt some more snow for coffee and breakfast. I forgot to bring my bandana to filter out tree needles from the boiling water, so I had to use the dishcloth instead. I normally bring real coffee in a filter on trip, but this time I've chose to bring Starbucks instant coffee. It's the best instant I've found so far. For breakfast I have oatmeal with nuts, cinnamon, and brown sugar. Feeling energized from breakfast, it was time to pack up the rest of my gear. Loading up my toboggan isn't hard, but it does take some time. Luckily, it wasn't too cold, so my hands stayed warm the entire time. All packed up and ready to go, I snowshoed back to the main trail. Back on the main trail, time to ski. I had to strap on the snowshoes going up these deeper sections. But as soon as the terrain allows it, I'm back in the skis. I finished this trip in the dark, but I don't mind that at all.